Okay guys, so sorry I went ahead and started to graph the absolute value of the parent function, but welcome. This is 1.5 notes. I already wrote the parent function of the absolute value for you, and I also plotted the points to begin the graph, and then I'm just going to continue graphing along here and there as well. And then so this is the graph right here, my coordinate plane, and now I'm going to fill out the table. So I'm going to have a value of 3, 2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. All right, so now that we have our graph complete and our table complete, let's talk about some fun facts. The parent function is the most basic graph because it has no transformations. We're starting at the origin, no transformations. Okay, let me make that a little bit smaller for you guys to see a little bit easier. Okay, then the domain will always be -infinity to +infinity, and then a range will be 0 to infinity. It'll always be -infinity to +infinity, but our range does change based off transformations. The graph is symmetric across the y-axis. So think of it as if I was to fold the y-axis, it'll fold on top of itself, and it can shift left or right. The turning point of our graph is called the vertex. A function is decreasing when the slope is negative. A function is increasing when the slope is positive. So this table right here, take a moment, we could not erase, but highlight. These are the fun facts to keep in mind. Also more like important facts as well. So describe the transformation of each function from the parent function. Sketch the graph. Then state the intervals that each graph is positive and negative and increasing, decreasing. So positive and negative means that if it's positive in the domain of its x values and y values, well, just the y values, the positive, negative is down below. So if I'm going to highlight, positive is going to be this yellow, and then if I go, we could say orange is the bad, the orange is my negative values, okay? So I'm going to have a positive function. So let's go ahead and plot the points. I have a vertical stretched by 2. And then I go up 3. All right, we're not going to exactly plot all our tables, but you should be able to use your graphing calculator to plot the points. So this is what, if I go and plug in my graphing calculator, what it's going to look like, and then at this point being positive 3. So in my positive interval, in the yellow, I have my entire graph. So from left to right, I'm going from -infinity to +infinity. The negative aspects, what's in the orange, I don't have any. So I can just leave it blank. I don't have any. Increasing, think of it as a roller coaster. If I'm going on a roller coaster, I'm going to follow my pink. If I start on the leftmost side, I'm going down, 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 down. That's decreasing. But then once I hit my 0, I go up, 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 up. So the increasing of my graph is actually starting at 0. We do use parentheses because it's talking about an interval increasing. We're not starting at an exact point. So 0 to infinity. Decreasing is here on the left-hand side, and that is -infinity to 0. Please make a point on this side. We're always using x values. Okay, so think of it as positive, negative of domain, increasing, decreasing of domain. All right, let's look at B. B, we have the transformation of down to this time. So we're going to be shifting down. And so I want you to take a minute. I'm not able to pull up my graphing calculator here, but plug in this function into your graphing calculator and tell me what points we cross the x-axis. So you're going to go on your graphing calculator, you're going to go y equals, and you're going to plug it in. Well, once you plug it in, you're going to get -2 and 2 on your absolute value graph. And I'm going to connect them, and I'm going to connect them. Okay, so this is my absolute value graph. And do the same thing with highlighting. We'll just do green and orange. So green is my positive, orange is my negative. Okay. So looking at my positive interval, wish I had orange on here, but I don't. Positive, I'm on the left-hand side of my graph. I'm starting right here, and I'm moving to the right. So I'm starting here at -infinity. That's my green, and then I stop in the green actually at that -2. Again, this is -2, this is +2, okay? But I also have the positive interval of 2 to infinity. I can't forget that section part. You have to break it up because it's not right here. It's not connected. So you go positive there. You can't connect them. Now let's talk about our negative interval, or what's below our x-axis. That is the interval we're starting right here at -2, and we go over to the right and stop at 2. So my negative interval is -2, 2. And again, when we're talking about increasing, decreasing, positive, negative intervals, we're always using parentheses. All right, increasing, like my roller coaster, I'm going to go with my red or my blue. I am going down my roller coaster right here. So that's decreasing. So I'm going from -infinity, and I'm stopping at the x value of 0, because we're always talking about x values with decreasing, increasing, with positive and negative. And then I start back up here, and I go up, 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 up. I go up on my roller coaster, and that is 0 to infinity. Okay, so pause, take a second. I would like you to pause this video and do C and D like we normally do in class. I do too, you do too. All right, so take a second, pause. Okay, welcome back. So hopefully you paused. If you didn't, shame on you. I'm just kidding, but you got to take that time to do stuff by yourself as well. So we should know from this function that we have a reflection. Let me get back in my pen. A reflection. Change it. Reflection over, hopefully you know, my x-axis, aka vertical reflection. And then I'm also going left too. All right, so plugging that into my graphing calculator, I'm going to have my x-axis point at -1, and I'm actually going down this. Ooh, that is a rough line. Going down, I'll use my pencil because it'll make a straight line. Going down, going down. Okay, so this is my graph for the letter C, and let's highlight again, make it easier. So this is my positive, and then this is my negative. All right, so positive, do I see any of my graph? Nope, so I don't have anything, so I'm good. Then I go down, I look and see if I have negative, and in fact I do. So if I'm going from left to right, I need to think, all right, I'm starting at my leftmost side, so I'm starting here at my -infinity, and I think I'm going up, 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 up. So then I stop at 0, okay? but my x value is -1 because I did shift, so my bad. Meant to say -1. So I have -1 to negative infinity to -1. And then I have -1 to infinity. I keep going. All right. And then let's do increasing, decreasing. So now it's my roller coaster time. So going my roller coaster, I start on the left-hand most side. I'm going up my roller coaster. That's up, so it's increasing. So that means I'm going to have an increasing interval from -infinity to -1. And then I have my second part of my roller coaster. I'm going down, 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 down. That's decreasing from -1. Oop, forgot to change my pen. From -1 to infinity. And then I'm done. All right, and then we'll pick up the pace. So, function f of x, we have a transformation to the right 4. So then my graph is going to look like this. Oh, that does not look good. Hold on. Sorry, let me erase it. Okay. And so I have a point here at 4. I have a positive interval. It's -infinity to 4. 4 to infinity. I don't have any negative intervals. I have an increasing interval from my 4 to infinity and decreasing from -infinity to 4. So hopefully you can quickly check your answer with that one. All right, awesome. Okay, so we've talked about positive, negative intervals. Positive intervals are on this uppermost point of my graph, so up here. My negative intervals are going to be down here. My increasing is when I'm riding my roller coaster up. Decreasing is when I'm riding my roller coaster down, from left to right, always. All right, coming from that, let's talk about end behaviors. End behaviors. They describe the direction the ending arrows of a graph are going. The standard form is a format as x goes to infinity. Where is y going? Well, that's what we'll look for. This is read as the x values approach infinity. The y values are approaching whatever value. So, without graphing, let's take a visual as we're going. We know this is absolute value, so we know it's going to be a v. It's going to be on the right-hand side of my graph. So we know it's going to look like that. Doesn't really matter as we're approaching. Our arrows aren't changing. They're not going crazy. So if we're thinking about our x-axis, and we're moving this way, as x goes to infinity, so as x is going this way, use a highlighter, as x is going to the right, where is my y value going? Well, that's represented with f of x, which we already know. So f of x is headed towards infinity as well. Do you see that? Because it's going up as well. And then we do the same thing for negative infinity. So as x goes to negative infinity, so it's traveling this way, where's my y going? Well, the graph of y, the y values are going up. So that's to infinity. Let me fix that infinity. It's quite ugly. Like that. Not much better, but you get the point. Okay. This is when we reflect. So our reflection reflects it down because it's the x-axis. So let's talk. As x approaches both positive and negative infinity, we can strongly say that the function of g of x, because notice we're not talking about g of x, we know that the y values are going down for both. So they're going to negative infinity. Since both ends go the same way, we can go ahead and condense the notation. So notice as the first one, we couldn't do that because it's going different ways, or I just like to show in the first one that we can write it out, but if they're both going the same ways, there's no need to write 2 of them. So then take a second, pause, do letter E. Okay, hopefully you took a pause. And so my set notation as x goes to positive, negative, infinity, because it goes both ways. My y, my h of t, is going to infinity. It's going this way. Okay, so that's the front page of the notes. If I'm going at a brisk pace, that's what videos pausing is for. So if you need to pause the video, now is a good time. Take a moment to reflect on the front page. And now we're going to the second page. That is going to be a separate YouTube video. So go ahead and click out of this and go ahead and go to the second YouTube video.